How to explain and imagine AI in the simplest and yet memorable way. Stay with me to find out. Hey there, Data Unicorn! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sanya, a software engineer turned business intelligence developer and data science master student. I decided to start this YouTube channel and track my data journey as much as possible. I would really appreciate if you join me and we grow together. It cannot be better, right? Let's start from the broad term artificial intelligence and then go to machine learning and deep learning. Think of AI or artificial intelligence as the goal of building computers that can perform smart tasks that normally require human intelligence. It's a field in computer science where we teach machines how to learn, solve problems, make decisions, and behave intelligently, just like humans do, or at least we have the ability to do so. Let's jump to machine learning. ML is a huge part of what makes AI so smart. In traditional programming and even in math, there are well-defined strict rules, which applied to the input, we get the output. So it's always the output which is unknown and then calculated. The data science as a field attempts to find patterns and draw insights from the data. Let's make an analogy to the input-output concept. By having the data, we have the input. When the data is labeled, for example, not only we have pictures of animals, that would be the data, but also alongside the images we have their names, that would be the labels. In this scenario, the input and the output are present and we try to learn the rules connecting them. Other times, we only have the input data, and the goal is to discover hidden structures, relationships, or natural groupings within that data, without any pre-labeled output to guide it. When about ML, think of it as teaching a computer by showing it lots of examples instead of giving it strict, step-by-step instructions. The machine looks for patterns in all that data, and over time, it learns how to perform tasks all by itself, like recognizing your voice or recommending your next video, which I hope is mine. What's next is deep learning. So where does deep learning fit into all of this? It's a special technique that is really good at finding the most complex patterns. I like to call it advanced ML. Let's use the classic credit risk assessment example that serves well for explaining the following. You have a dataset consisting of rows per borrower. The columns represent the features or parameters that affect the prediction. In simple words, values like age, income, employment length, home ownership, etc. They all affect the loan approval prediction. Here, the features are easy to define and easy to understand. Another note, the data is tabular, organized in a table. But what about tasks with images, videos, and speech? Here, the important patterns aren't simple columns in a table. How would you define a cat's ear or the sound of a voice with simple numbers? This is where deep learning shines. It's designed to work with this complex, unstructured data. Instead of you needing to define all the features, the model can learn the important patterns directly from the data itself. You'll almost always hear the term neural networks tightly coupled with deep learning. That's because deep learning uses these neural networks, which are like digital simplified models of the neural network in our heads. Our brains were the inspiration for the build. And why deep? Why do we call them like that? Because these neural networks are built with many layers stacked on top of each other. The data passes through each layer, and at every step, the network learns to understand something a little more complex. For example, to recognize a face in a photo, the first layer might just spot basic lines and edges. The next layer might combine those edges to find simple shapes like an eye or a nose. By going deep through all the layers, the machine can finally put it all together to recognize a specific face as a whole. This layered approach is what lets deep learning power some of the most amazing AI tasks you see, like understanding your voice commands, enabling self-driving cars to see the road, or even translating languages in real time. As a summary, if I have to use only few words to describe them, I would say Artificial intelligence, getting computer systems to do things without explicit instructions so they can automate our repetitive tasks and can free up some time for us. Machine learning, a subset of AI that enables systems to learn from data, often requiring human input to define and select useful features. Deep learning, a subset of machine learning that excels at handling unstructured data, like video, images, speech. Deep learning extracts the features directly from the data, and the cost here is the need of large datasets and high computing power. Now that we are all familiar with the basic terms in AI, wait for my next video talking about machine learning and deep learning algorithms. See you soon, Data Unicorn!